What's up, Soul Family? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to Soul Family Oracle. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're returning, as always, thank you guys so much for all your support. This is Soul Family Oracle, where I deliver messages from the divine, the depths of our soul, our spirit guides, and our ancestors. And this particular download, I feel very excited about. Like, my spirit feels very excited to deliver this message. And this message was from a download I've been receiving the last few weeks, and I made a video about it and posted it just this week, I think. And in the comments, somebody was asking me, how do you wage spiritual warfare in the 3D or from the 3D? And while I was giving the response to the comment, usually sometimes when I receive certain comments, I receive a download through them based on what the message is about or what the person is asking. And I felt the need to put it in the community tab. And somebody asked that I do a video to elaborate on this. So today I've been meditating on this, and I must say the co-creation that Spirit came through to do with me on this particular download, 115 on the time, has just like it's been very, I feel so enlightened right now. And even though, like I was saying in the video, we believe that we have clairs, as light workers, we all have clairs, multiples. We have multiple clairs, clairaudience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, all those things, like ability to hear, to sense, to smell, to taste, to see. And these gifts, again, I'm saying as light workers, we all have not one, but multiple, whereas some have more than others. At least everybody has like two different ones that we have, that we work with innately or are more profound to us. But the kind of power I am speaking about in this message is a power that is being activated from a very ancient place. And these were coming through as like gifts that we have innately that are being activated, that I don't think, like, for me personally right now, I can't see the names for it or like the specific, like widely recognized names for it, because these are gifts that to the human mind are like, to a lot of people, if you don't resonate with this channel, this message will sound very off, and it might feel like things that are supernatural or too out of the ordinary for a regular human being to do. But that's the thing. These ancient powers that are being activated within you are not being activated from just you being here. This is because you are not a regular human being. So I feel like that's the reason why it's like Spirit really sat me down. I had to like pull out my notepad and my pen and meditate on it and just like listen and write and listen and write. And I feel like Spirit really sat me down to like really make me understand from the things that I had put down already, how a lot of different gifts that we possess right now or have the abilities to do with these people that we are, whether you call yourself the chosen or you call yourself or you consider yourself as a light worker, light warrior, these are gifts that in the new earth are basically going to become the norm for when you speak of spiritualist. But right now, as we are in this state 2025, is something that is still going to be out of the norm for a lot of people. So the message is basically saying that you are activating ancient powers within you that is going to help build the foundation of the new earth. You are activating ancient powers within you that is going to help you, like, literally build the foundation of the new earth. Because again, like I was explaining in the other video, when I was speaking about waging warfare or taking the war to them, taking the spiritual warfare to them, and somebody was saying something about, there's enough war and, there needs to be more peace and love and everything. And I was trying to explain, unless you don't understand where I'm speaking from, or you don't understand the time that we've jumped, you don't really understand that I understand. Unless you don't really understand that I am speaking from a place of divinity or from a place of light, it will come to you it will come across to you as if I'm saying, oh, we're waging war, and I'm waging war on people that have done this. But then if you listen throughout the video, at some point I also say, like, there's going to be a need to choose your battles wisely, because it's not going to be like, oh, somebody bullied me, so I'm going to wage spiritual warfare. No, these things are privileges we're being given to be able to do specific things in the spirit, specific things that target things that are going to be of benefit to the collective, not personal things. Okay, so in the message, I spoke of specific gifts that are going to be activated, that I feel like we don't even have names to these things yet. And I spoke of like graders, I spoke of quantum jumpers, I spoke of timeline creators, crystal channelers, and a few others. So this particular download today, or this message today is the breakdown of that and the information that I received, highlighting all those different gifts or powers, which again, the names I'm calling them, these are not official names, right? So this is like these are the best words I can use to describe them based on what I feel like our understanding is, or let me just say based on what my understanding is of to what level I feel like I can understand this. Okay. Another thing also that was coming through was how the knowing of these various gifts and knowing where to place them and how to place them is going to be an activation. So I feel like this message is going to be an activation for somebody, if not a lot of people, because what was coming through was like, in knowing what these various gifts are, is going to become much clearer to you how to place certain things that you do, or how to place certain things that you feel you have the ability to do. But you might be feeling like, how exactly does this make sense, or how exactly is this possible, something like that. So for somebody, this message is going to be give you some kind of clarification that's going to bring about an activation of these. So in what was coming through are some of the various powers that are being activated for you to be able to do certain things that are beyond what is others are able to do right now in the physical reality, even to the extent of the spirit, the things that they are able to do in the spirit. Because I feel like the group of people I'm speaking to right now, not everybody can do some of the things that you can do even in the spirit. Okay, so I spoke of graders, and I spoke of quantum jumpers, timeline creators, crystal channelers, elemental alchemists, energy healers, spirit guides. So these are the ones that I mentioned that I'm going to, and then Akashic Readers. These are the main ones that I mentioned that I feel like I've been giving enough information on to share, and I feel like it's going to resonate with most of the people that might resonate with this message. So the first one with the quantum jumpers. What was coming through was like the quantum jumpers. Quantum jumpers are like people that are able to like literally jump from one reality into the other reality, and it doesn't matter in what reality that is, but that's because they create that reality. These people are able to create a reality in their mind, right? Or using their mind. But however, it's like they are creating it in a different space. So imagine like creating something on, like, you see, like when you connect a laptop to like a projector, right? Where whatever it is that you're doing on the laptop is being displayed on the projector, something like that. So you can consider the laptop as the mind, where they're creating from the mind, but it's like being projected onto a higher screen, a screen in the ethers, which would be the projector. And this creation is something that is being done in real time, but at the same time is being done in a timeless space. So it's like the quantum jumpers have the ability to basically like something with time and space. They have, yes, to bend time and space. The quantum jumpers have the ability to bend time and space, right? And the quantum jumpers also, another thing I put down is they have a high level of astral projection. It's like they're able to like astral, like consciously or like actively, like astral project, like they are able to do very high level of astral projection, in the sense like what I was getting is like they are able, so they can like astral project into a space or a different reality, or however you might call it, right? And in that space they quantum jump into, or in that particular, I'm trying to find a word for this, I feel like I'm using the wrong word, but anyway, in that space they quantum jump into, or the astral project into, they are able to like actively operate in that space, like whether to cause change in the 3D, or whether to like bring about a certain reaction or bring about a certain result in that space. Most people that that astral project are able to astral project into different space to, yes, get certain experience and stuff like that. But this is like having like full control in this space and going with an intention. So for instance, they might set an intention that I am astral projecting into this space with the intention to bring about this reality, or with the intention to bring about this result. And this will require them to basically be the ones to create the space in which they move into and what happens in that space, instead of like maybe astral projecting into the space to look at what's happening in that space. So the quantum jumpers have the ability to do this. Another thing also that is quite connected to this is the ability to create new realities outside the 3D. And this was coming through as the quantum jumpers are able to create realities outside of the 3D. And these realities are able to stay active. Ooh. I need some water. Yeah. And the quantum jumpers are able to like create these realities and their and live in simultaneously, like with their 3D reality, right? It's like these like, sorry, it's like they're able to like, so this would translate in the sense like they're able to like go back and or continue a specific jump, or like a specific reality. Like let's say if they create a certain reality or jump into a different space, they're able to go back or jump back to that space, right? Also, another thing was the ability to see into the past and future. The quantum jumpers, 1303 on the timer, the quantum jumpers have the ability to jump into the past and into the future, right? So I'm speaking to somebody that you may have had like an out of body experience into like a time when you that was like into the past, basically. Like you may have had this thing into the past, and this may have happened in a state of like a lucid dream, or even in a state of meditation. But I'm seeing like somebody being in a calm state or quiet state whilst this was happening. So you may have like literally quantum jumped into a certain time in the past. That would be confirmation for somebody. So the quantum jumpers, when you look at these set of abilities that they have, these are people that when it translates to like using our powers in the 3D to like, cause effective spiritual warfare, or to like do specific things in alignment with our purpose or our roles on earth. Some of the things that quantum jumpers would be able to do is, for instance, like create or quantum jump into realities where certain things are no more in the world, or jump into certain realities where certain things that are happening are being tackled, or are being uprooted, or are being taken care of, or like create certain realities where certain things are able to be held, or certain things are able to like be processed, right? Like for instance, I'll give you an example. One of the downloads that I had when I was doing the other reading was how there are certain abilities, or like certain people with the abilities to like have things take effect in the spirit, like in the 3D reality, on like in the masses, from that space, or from the ethers, or from that space or that reality in which they've quantum jumped, right? So in this sense, it's like you would be able to like create a space that covers the masses, or a space that targets like the collective, like world peace or something of the sort, but with specific things, targeting specific things. Like let's say let's even say the policymakers, the people that are making certain policies, or they're trying to put certain policies in place to basically like cut off people's freedom, or like to hinder people from having access to certain things. You would be able to quantum jump into a space or into a reality where these things are not the norm, or into a reality where maybe the this thing of those policymakers, that doesn't involve it, or that is like out of the norm, or there's like some kind of thing that happens where this is not able to take place. All right, I hope that explains that properly. Okay, so the next one, I think, let's look at Elemental Alchemist, right? So again, for a lack of like a name or an official name or something of the sort for it, this I'm calling these guys Elemental Alchemists. And the Elemental Alchemists is like, it's like the airbenders or the water benders. They are like the benders, basically, right? What's the name of what's the title of that animation? The Last Airbender, I think. So the Elemental Alchemists are they are like the benders, right? So for the Elemental Alchemists, it's like these people, or like you have the ability to basically like bend certain elements, the ability to bend certain elements. So you might be able to control water, right? Or you might be able to like control fire, you might be able to control the earth, you might be able to, but the Elemental Alchemists have the ability to basically bend the elements, to control. Whoa, my thing just fell right now with. Anyway, they have the ability to control the element, or bend the element, right? To communicate with the element. That's another thing. They have the ability to communicate with the element. And this ability to communicate with the element was coming through as like, I wrote that down as the ability to communicate with different elements and their different personifications. So ability to communicate with a different element and their different personifications. And this means basically like a personification of water, for instance, I feel would be like a body of water, like like a river, or like a stream, like a waterfall, like the ocean, right? So the ability to like communicate with the ocean, ability to communicate with the river. Personification, I feel, of the earth would be like the trees, flowers, plants. So the ability to communicate with plants, the ability to communicate with trees, so personification. So basically, like, yeah, the different things that are under the elements, the different things that you would categorize under the various elements. Okay, so another thing with fire, for instance, would be a flame, like a candle flame, or like a burning flame, or some type of fire, where you're able to communicate with fire. You look through the fire, into the fire, and then you're able to meditate and then receive communication from the fire. That's something that So another thing that was coming through was the ability to control the weather. So whoever I'm speaking to that has this ability of the Elemental Alchemist, these abilities being activated will mean that you will have the ability to control the weather, the ability to communicate with the elements to bring about certain weather conditions, the ability to communicate with the element to receive information on certain weather conditions also. So this is one thing, or another thing that the Elemental Alchemists are able to do. So if it's something that if this is something that you're able to do or might be activated in you, this might be expressing in your life as like you being able to tell when it's going to rain just by some special means, right? Or you being able to tell when it's not going to rain, or you being able to tell the direction that the rain is coming from, or you being able to tell, just something of the sort. Okay. Another thing with the elemental alchemists was these guys have the ability to summon earth spirits. The elemental alchemists have the ability to summon, not like earth spirits, basically, like ocean spirits, fairies, wind spirits. So the elemental alchemist, like if you're somebody that resonates as an elemental alchemist, that would be something that will be activated within you also. And this ability to basically like speak to different nature spirits, and these nature spirits might come in any form, because again, the elemental alchemists, they are not like benders of one specific type of element. This is coming through as like benders of all the 5 elements. And I feel like the reason why this is coming through profoundly or specifically as that is because this is how they became the elemental alchemists in the first place. It's not just by mastering one element. I feel like this is going to be activated within and again, this message, I don't know how a lot will take this message, but like I was saying, this message might not, sound like, it might sound very otherworldly to most people in this time, 2025, but yeah. And also that's because a lot of these gifts are going to be activated in full in a certain period. So they are being activated now, so that it's like as the time goes on, a lot of how you use it will be you practicing it. And there's going to be a time that comes where people are going to be doing things like how Yeshua did. Jesus, right? Yeshua. That's how it's going to be. People performing miracles. Anyway, so yeah. Another thing was also, let me see. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. So under the elemental alchemist, if you resonate as an elemental alchemist, these abilities that are going to be activated are basically going to give you a certain level of power that allows you to communicate with the element and use the elements to bring about specific change, right? Just like I was saying, like being able to speak to like ocean spirit, being able to speak to fairies, to trees and plants, to butterflies and stuff like that, to animals. That's another thing, being connected to animals. It's like, because the elemental alchemists are going to people that are really very connected to nature, like very, very connected to nature. And I'm seeing like somebody living off grid in like the woods, right? So somebody might be thinking of going to live off grid, because it's like you may have been, I'm seeing somebody like really like, just like, it's like a dense, the woods, it's not really like woods, it's quite green, but it's like not really like a forest, but it's not really dense, I think. Anyway, but yeah, so you may have been thinking of moving to, going off grid to live in like, yeah, it looks kind of like a forest low-key, but then it's like there's a water body close to the place, because you can hear like something like I don't know, like a stream or like a river. I think a stream. Anyway, so yeah, that might be confirmation for somebody. The other thing that I mentioned was also griders, right? And what was coming through is like griders. The griders are basically people that are they have the ability to like grid the earth, to grid Gaia, to grid the planet, basically. It's like the griders have the ability to feel the planet, right? And they're able to like sense the planet. They're able to feel the shift. They're able to sense when there's shift going on within the planet. They're able to sense when there's heavy energetic movement happening in the planet. And I'm just kind of like, I don't know, all of a sudden I'm moving around a lot. Like I'm just like, moving my body. I'm sitting on the bed, but I'm just kind of like, moving. So this is like the gridders. That's like the main thing that the gridders do, or the gridders have the ability for. And this energy, or like this power, is like, it's this is able to help them. This is like the graders are able to like heal the earth. Let me see, hold on, what I put down. So the graders are able to like create grids that open healing portals in the planet. The graders have the ability to create grids that open healing portals in the planet, because they're able to sense the planet. They're able to like feel the energy of the planet. So they're able to sense where, they're able to feel the guidance of the planet. Because it's like, I'm seeing like a magnet. It's like they are magnetized to the planet. It's like they're able to like, the planet is able to like pull them into specific directions, like energetically. They are able to sense the planet on a higher level than a lot of people are. And this is the reason why they're able to like know exactly where they can open portals for healing to go through, or where exactly the healing portal should be, or the healing energy should pass through, in order to be most effective on the planet, or in order to reach the parts that needs to be reached, right? Another thing also was, they are able to find the points in the planet that need healing. So these people have the ability to like sense the parts in the earth that need healing. And in this grading that they do, they are able to like grade out and then sense parts that are vulnerable within the earth and what specifically needs to go there. And I'm getting also to do with another role was the crystal channelers. And I'm getting right now like the crystal channelers, a lot of the crystal channelers are graders also, because they are able to communicate with the crystals and they are given guidance by crystals. So the crystal channelers are people that have the ability to channel crystals, the crystals in the earth specifically. There are a lot of crystals in the earth, yes, but also there are specific crystals within the earth that was placed in the earth by, again, the ancients. Again, these are ancient powers that are being reactivated. And some of these ancients were like the Lemurians, the Atlanteans, right? The Egyptians. Some of these things that were placed in the, the Egyptians, not the Egyptians. That would be too early. The Egyptians, what they placed in the earth has a lot to do with the pyramids. Because the pyramids are like a roof. The pyramids are like a roof over a house. You see, like when you look at a house from afar, all you see is the roof. You don't see the body of the house. That's a lot of the pyramids are. However, not all of them. Not all the pyramids are the same. A lot of them were built for different reasons or with different specifications and personalizations based on who it was for or which community it was for, right? And even for some based on which order it was for. So the pyramids are not exactly as how we are made to believe as, oh, it was meant for this or for funeral rites or for things to do with the afterlife, or there are different pyramids for different things. And a lot of the big pyramids are roofs. What we see of it is just roofs. And some of these roofs even have like code on the actual blocks of it. Not all, in some of the pyramids, the blocks of the pyramids are codes. They have inscriptions on it. All right. I'm going to leave that there because that's a whole nother topic. Bye. So the I was saying the graders or the grid workers have a lot to do with the channelers, the crystal channelers also, because they work hand in hand. Where the graders find the spots where the healing needs to be done, the crystal workers then, target those spots to do the crystal healing on, right? And another thing that was coming through also for graders was like, like these ancient sites. I think what I was seeing was like Stonehenge. I don't know if it's Stonehenge, but if it's Stonehenge, if I'm correct, Stonehenge was at a time a place where there was some kind of flood, but there were survivors from the place that were part of like the old order. These were people that were very knowledgeable, just like with Atlantis. Not everybody went down in the sinking of Atlantis, and there was a lot of knowledge that was meant to be preserved along with other people like children and initiates that were taken away before the flooding, were taken away before the destruction. because the saving of Atlantis was going to be like, I don't know how to say it. I don't want, not like a suicide project, because it was almost as if like not everybody was actually ignorant of the fact that Atlantis was going down. But there was also the clear understanding that much couldn't be done to save it. And the only thing that would really or could be saved of Atlantis would be the knowledge of Atlantis through just what could be saved. Anyway, that's also a story for another day. I don't know why there's so much coming through like this, okay. And another thing that has been coming through a lot is thought. Even throughout the time when I was like getting ready with this, it was like coming through a lot. So I feel like a lot of people, not a lot of people, if not all the earth leaders or the earth guardians are going to be receiving direct communication from thought. It's like, I feel like thought is going to become a patron for the earth guardians. Like a lot of the earth guardians are going to be receiving guidance and direction from him. And this is going to be specifically to lead you to information and knowledge that is going to help you to do what you're supposed to do, give you the keys. Thank you, Spirit. It's going to give you the keys to open the doors that you need to open in the Spirit and in the 3D. All right, so I feel like the next one I should do is the crystal channelers, so that I can tie that in a bit with the grid workers or the gridders. So if you resonate with being a crystal channeler, like you might be very drawn to crystals. These are people that are very drawn to crystals. And another thing also is the healing energy of crystals. These are people that like innately know that crystals hold very powerful healing energy and are very like drawn to using crystals for healing. 31 on the timer. Are very drawn to like using crystals for healing. And the abilities of the crystal workers, or some of the powers that are being activated within the crystal channelers, it's like the crystal channelers is like this ability to, it's like see specific crystals in specific places that might be communicating with you or communicating with the earth. Now, the main ability of the crystal channelers is to feel the crystals in the earth. They are able to communicate with the crystals within the earth, because the crystals are channels of information, are bodies of information, very ancient knowledge on a lot, if not all. And also the crystals hold healing power for everything. There's something for everything when it comes to crystals, I always say. So the crystal channelers have the power to communicate with the crystals and to channel the healing energies of these various crystals into the earth. This is why I was saying like they would work a lot with the gridders and the people that do the earth grading, because they fill out the earth, but then the crystal channelers are able to like activate the specific crystals that are needed to send what specific healing is needed in this part. It's like just like crystal healing or crystal therapy. There are different crystals for different things, and there are different crystals for different parts of the body for different things, right? So again, like let's say if it was the seventh chakra, the third eye chakra, the crown chakra, and the throat chakra, heart, they are all in different places. You wouldn't place a lapis lazuli on your sacral chakra. You would place it on your throat chakra, because that's where it's supposed to be, right? But you have to know that that's where it's supposed to be. So you can consider the crystal 3333 on the timer. Wow, 3333. So you can consider the crystal channelers as like the ones who are able to communicate with the earth, and then they place these healing. They know which crystals are to be used for which healing. So that's where, again, for them also the grid workers come in, because when a grid worker feels a certain part of the earth is needing healing, right, and they're just feeling it, they can work with a crystal channeler to send healing energies to that specific part or to that part of the planet. So again, I feel like the gridders and the crystal channelers work perfectly together. It's like the way that, but then also that's another thing. All these different roles are going to be working together. We all work together, right? Anyway, all right. So I think that's it for the crystal channelers. The next one was Akashic Readers. The Akashic Readers, you guys are people that have immense knowledge and information on all things. The Akashic Readers, if you're an Akashic Reader, one way you'll be able to identify yourself is how you just know things from way back and even things from into the future. You feel a sense of knowing about it. It's like, I can tell you 100% for a fact that this is going to be a thing in the future, that's going to happen, or this is going to turn out this way, and it happens, right? But then in this energy, in the activation of this energy, it's going to be even bigger. It's going to be even higher, right? And in this sense, it's like you're going to be able to tell specific information about things that need to be brought out or need to be understood in order for certain things to be able to carry out, or in order to be able to execute certain things successfully. Another thing that was coming through with the knowledge and the information was that information is key. Right? Information is key. So for instance, if there's something that was needing to be done, right, for the collective, let's say, let me bring it down to even individually, right? Let's say there was somebody that was doubting themselves, and this person is meant to play a very important role in the evolution of the new earth, right? In the building of the new earth. And this person was stuck in a state of not knowing exactly what their path was. And let's say they would come to you. You as the Akashic Reader would be able to see into that part of their soul that holds their true identity, and their true identity being attached to their purpose, right? And in revealing this information to this person is going to just put that light bulb on in their head that clears up everything and gives them the clarity they need. 36 on the timer. That is going to be like, yes, that's it. And now they would know exactly how to move forward. And in doing so, this is going to help them to basically help to build that foundation. Because another thing is all these roles, again, are connected. We are all connected. The people that we're going to be working with and working for and healing and helping and elevating and empowering are going to be people that are going to help to elevate the earth and the masses. These are going to be people that are also aligned with the healing work. The people that we're going to be working with and healing and helping to move forward into higher positions are going to be people that are also light workers. All right. Another thing also that was coming through, that just came through right now with the 33 and then the 36 coming up, was ancestral knowledge. There's something about ancestral knowledge and the Akashic records. It's like the Akashic Readers. The Akashic Readers are going to be getting exclusive access to knowledge and things about ancestries, people's ancestries, like something about ancestry. But in a way that I think the reason why the exclusive was coming through is the fact that not everything in the Akashic record is available to everybody. Not everything in the Akashic record is available to everybody. And not everybody that is able to read the Akashic records is on the same, has the same spiritual status, right? Based on what status you're on or how you have access to the Akashic records will also determine exactly what you are able to see and what you have access to. You understand? Some people are appointed Akashic Readers or Akashic Guardians because of their lineage, because of their spiritual lineage or spiritual heritage. Like something you would say it runs in the blood, something like that, right? Yeah. Just like if your family has a history of being demon slayers, it would naturally most probably run in your blood, or there would be those traits, something of the sort. Okay. Another thing was also the power to see into the soul's fabric and the destiny line. The Akashic Readers will have these are people that have the ability to see into the soul's fabric and the destiny line. They're going to be able, or these people are going to be able to literally see, like I was saying, into a person's soul, into their soul's identity, who they've been, who they were, who they might mean to be right now in the state that they come to them in. Another thing also was to bring down information from the higher realms in real time. The Akashic records are going to be bearers of information. So, for instance, they are going to be receiving information in real time from the Akashic records of things that are unfolding. Because things are unfolding in different realms simultaneously, something could be happening that is like yesterday or tomorrow. But right now, as we are sitting here in this 3D, it is happening now. But in our understanding of it, it's happening in like tomorrow, or it happened yesterday. I don't know how to explain. But I think you guys would understand. Yeah, you would understand. Right? So it's like the Akashic readers are able to like bring down information from the higher realms in real time. And I feel like, so for instance, if like the Akashic records will receive like information and downloads from like the Galactic Federation and other like galactic warriors and other light workers and other star seeds and other light beings and stuff like that, and also information on what would be going on in like different realms that are going to be affecting Earth, or like that they need Earth to know. So basically, like, Akashic readers are also going to be receiving, like, they're going to become like portals or channels or messengers for higher information or for higher realms to communicate. It's almost like becoming bridges to bring down information to the masses or to the collective, right? So yeah, like all these different roles are meant to all come together to bring about one main goal, which is to heal, to bring enlightenment, to win this war against darkness. A lot of people are saying not to use war, but it's like, when I speak of this, I don't want to again make this video about what it's not about. So as time goes on, I'll make another video to really explain those other things individually. But for now, yeah. So the next one, which is the last one from what I have, is energy healing. And I feel like with the energy healing, I think a lot of people can say that they are energy healers, yes, but in this sense of this activation, what I'm speaking about is like energy healing on a whole nother level, just like Yeshua did. It's like, healing the sick, curing sickness from people with even like diseases, right? Energy healing, you'll be able to like pray for people and then their sickness will be removed from them, or hug people and cure their sickness. You'll be able to like heal animals, even to heal plants. But it's something about being able to heal the universal life force in things. So it's not just about that energy. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of us can say that we're energy healers. We have a healing energy, or we're able to heal people's energy, bring light to them, bring understanding, bring clarity. Yes, we have healing energies. We are healers as light workers, right? But this is like somebody that is going to be able to like activate the universal life force within people to bring a sense of healing to like literally their spirit, their soul. So this is like, again, it's like, because the universal life force is the force within us that connects us to the universe and all things, right? So it's like, this is like going to be able to like healing people that feel disconnected from the universe. Because when you feel disconnected from the universe, like, you're not going to be tapping into your universal life force. This universal life force that allows you to like actively heal yourself, or to bring healing to yourself, right? And so like this energy healing, again, is like going to be healing people on such a level that they reconnect to their universal life force in order to bring healing to themselves. So it's like, you can call this like the healer's healer, right? So I feel like the energy healers, like these people, you're going to be healing like the energy healers. Like, energy healers also need healing, right? And the energy healers are going to be like that. They are going to be like healing people that are doing the healing work, and they are going to be helping them to activate within themselves their universal life force, right? So basically, like, if somebody was meant to be a healer, right, but they were feeling lost as to what their power really is, or feeling disconnected, like they weren't feeling connected to their magic, that energy healer would be somebody that helps them again to reconnect with that part of them, which opens them up to their universal life force, or like unblocks their universal life force. Yeah. And I feel like that's it. Like, this was the last one. And the energy healing, I didn't have a lot on it. I didn't actually put down a lot on it because I feel like it was self-explanatory, except for the fact that it had to do more with healing the universal life force or connecting with the universal life force, which is the force that allows us to even heal. So as a healer, that is like one main thing that for every healer needs to be activated within you in order for you to be able to heal others also, because that's it's just like Reiki, right? Reiki is done by, it's like how Reiki is done, it's not really like the person using their energy to heal, right? It's the universal life force. But in this sense, also, what I'm getting is like you will be able to use your energy to heal. And this is why you're going to be able to use your energy to heal other people's life force, or like energetics life force, those who have been blocked from their universal life force. You will use your energy first to heal that within them so they can use that to heal themselves. Whereas for energy healers, you have to just heal somebody with their universal life force. You would have to heal their universal life force first, not just activate it. That was a mouthful, but I hope like I was able to really like go in depth to explain the few that I think I know of right now, that are some of the abilities attached to specific gifts that we have beyond the clairs, that I feel are not clarified or categorized right now, but are going to become like really a part of the norm for some of us moving forward. Again, in 2025, this might sound like a crazy message, but yeah. All right, guys. As always, I hope you listen with discernment. Take only what resonates and leave what doesn't. And if this message resonates with you, I urge you to please like, share, subscribe, comment to help us reach even more of our soul tribe. And I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. It's exactly 12:12 on the time right now. 12:12 p.m. All right, bye, guys.